Welcome to True Projects. In this video, we are going to explain about the project title Poetry Classification Using Machine Learning. Before diving into the execution, let me give you an overview of the project. Let us first understand what poetry is. Poetry is a form of artistic expression that uses language, rhythm, and often figurative language to convey emotions, ideas, and experiences in a creative and imaginative way. The project's aim is to automatically group poetry according to their emotional categories, including joy, love, despair, and anger. Through the use of labeled data to train machine learning algorithms, the system finds patterns in poem text that match to particular emotional categories. This makes organizing poetry collections more efficient and helps users find poems that resonate with them on an emotional level. Traditional methods to poetry classification frequently depend on basic keyword based techniques or skilled human categorization. These approaches are dependent on subjectivity, time consuming, and challenging to handle enormous amount of data among other drawbacks. To overcome these limitations, the proposed system classifies poetry into several categories using a variety of machine learning algorithms such as Gaussian Naive Bayes, Support Vector Machine SVM, K Nearest Neighbor KNN, Random Forest, Bargain Classifier, Boosting Classifier, Neural Network, and Voting Classifier for classifying poetry into different categories such as love, sad, anger, surprise, fear, and joy. In this project, we have integrated Flask for building the web application to deploy our project. As an extension, we have used Flask, which provides a user friendly web interface for this project, handling user authentication and text uploads, enhancing accessibility and usability. To implement this project, we need software and hardware requirements. Software requirements of the project are application is Anaconda, primary language is Python, front-end framework is Flask, back-end framework is Jupyter Notebook, databases SQLite 3, front-end technologies used in the project are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap 4. Hardware requirements of the project are operating system of Windows, processor of Wi-Fi and above, RAM of 8 GB and above, hard disk of 25 GB and above. Algorithms used. These are the algorithms built in the project for classifying poetry. And here, the voting classifier outperformed the other algorithms, and that is the reason we have deployed it in the front end. Now let us execute the project. To execute this project, first we need to open the code folder, which contains the project source code files. So here, this is the dataset folder. In this dataset folder, the dataset is split into test, train, and validation. Here, in the text document, we have the poetries, which are used to test the model. And here, in the train text document, we have the poetry which are used to train the models. And here in the validation, we are having the poetry used to evaluate the performance of the model. This is the static folder. This folder consists of files related to CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap. This is the templates folder. This folder contains all the HTML pages used in the project. It includes files like index.html, about.html, and more, which represent different pages of the website. This is app.py file. This .py file contains the information related to front-end logic. It includes code written in Python that handles server-side operations such as processing user requests, interacting with the database, and generating dynamic content to be rendered in the HTML templates. This is model file which contains algorithm information which will be loaded into project code during runtime. This is notebook.ipynb file. This is a Jupyter Notebook file which contains a combination of code, graphs, and outputs all in one place. It allows users to write and execute code in individual cells, making it a popular choice for data science. This is signup.db file. This file is the database file used to store user information. And here we have the test cases text document. Let us open this. So here, these are the test cases which we will use during the execution. So these are the poetries present in Telugu language as well as in English language and even in Hindi language. So we will use these poems during the execution. Now close this. Now let us copy the path of the code folder from the address bar of the file explorer. So here I'm copying the path. Now open the Anaconda prompt. Use the cd command followed by a space and paste the copied path and hit enter. This command is used to change the current directory to the code folder's path. Now compile the app.py file using the command python space app.py and hit enter. This command will execute the Python script and perform a runtime check for any syntax errors or logical issues. After running the app.py file, the Flask framework will host the application locally at the default address localhost, which is this, and port, which is this. Now copy this local link provided by the Flask framework. I'm copying the link and paste this copied link into any web browser. I usually prefer Google Chrome and hit enter. The homepage of the project is displayed in the browser. This is the front end built using Flask framework. If we are new users, we need to register first. So click on sign up link here. So here we need to enter all these details to register. But I have already registered. So click on sign in button here. So here we need to enter the username and the password, which are static, and then click on submit button. We have logged in successfully and we are redirected to the prediction page. So here we need to enter the poetry, and after entering the poetry, the application will classify the type of poetry. So from the test cases, we will select a poetry. So here, these are the test cases, which I have already shown you during the explanation of the code folder. So here I'm selecting the first poetry. So here I have copied the poem from the test cases. Now let us paste it here. So here this is a Telugu poem, a famous Telugu poem. Now click on predict button. So here we can see the result that it is a jaw poetry, which is Padandi Munduku by Sri Sri. Now let us enter some more poetry from the test cases itself. So here, let us enter one English poem also. So this is the poem in English. Copy this and paste it here. So this is the poem. These are your own words, your way of noticing and saying plainly of not turning away from hurt. Now click on predict button. So here we can see the result. It is a sad poetry. Now let us enter some more poetry from the test cases again. So let us enter one poem from the Hindi language. So here this is the poem. Copy this and paste it here. And now click on predict button. So here it is a love poetry. So in this way, just by entering the poems from different languages, we can classify the poems into different emotional categories such as sad, happy, anger, and more. Now click on logout link here. The project successfully automates the classification of poems into emotional categories, enhancing accessibility and usability for users. By integrating machine learning with Flask for a user-friendly interface, it provides efficient organization and discovery of emotionally resonant poetry.
Thank you for watching video. For more projects, please visit our website www.trueprojects.in. For updates on latest project videos, please visit True Projects YouTube channel and subscribe.